How two families did the impossible and flew a hot air balloon over the Berlin Wall began with desperation. It was 1979. East Germany was a prison, and the Berlin Wall was its highest barrier. The Stasi, the secret police, were everywhere. For Peter Strelzyk and Gunter Wetzels, this life was unbearable. They were two ordinary men, mechanics and electricians. They wanted freedom for their families. But the border was a minefield, a kill zone. Digging a tunnel was too dangerous. Forging passports was impossible. They needed a different way. The impossible idea came from a West German magazine. It showed a picture of an international hot air balloon festival. The plan was born. They would not go under the wall or through it. They would fly over it. This was a plan that bordered on insanity. They had to build a 28-meter-tall aircraft. They had to do it in total secrecy, right under the noses of the Stasi. The two families began a life of dangerous deception. They bought materials in tiny, separate batches. They drove hundreds of miles to different towns. They bought bed sheets, nylon, and taffeta. They claimed they were for a camping club's flags. Back home, in an attic, the sewing machine ran day and night. They built a gondola from a steel plate. They built a burner from propane gas cylinders. Their first attempt was a failure. The Strelzyk family tried to go alone. Their homemade balloon fabric got too damp. It took off, but crashed just a few hundred yards from the border. They were still inside East Germany. They had to hike back for miles, abandoning their balloon. Now, the Stasi knew. The secret police found the balloon. They knew someone was trying to escape. The hunt was on. The two families, now reunited in terror, knew they had one last chance. They had to build a new, bigger, better balloon. And they had to do it before the Stasi kicked down their doors. They worked frantically. On September 16, 1979, the wind was finally right. The 8 of them, 4 adults and 4 children, piled into the tiny metal basket. The homemade burner roared to life. The giant patchwork balloon shot into the night sky. They climbed to 6,000 feet. Below them, the East German searchlights frantically scoured the sky. A fire broke out on the burner, threatening to engulf the entire balloon. They were in a flying inferno, battling the flames. They were over the border. Then, the burner fuel ran out. The balloon began a terrifying, silent descent. It crashed through trees and landed hard in a field. They were alive, but they were terrified. They had no idea where they were. Peter Strelzyk saw police lights approaching. He and Gunter Wetzels cautiously walked toward the officers. They asked the most important question of their lives. Are we in the West? The officers, from a Bavarian town, looked at them in confusion. Yes, of course you are. They had done the impossible. They were free.